So undoubtedly in this social media era, you have heard people talk about building a personal brand. Some people think a personal brand is everything, and some people think it is a waste of time. I thought I would talk with Stratton Brown, who is an entrepreneur. What does he think about building a personal brand? Is it a waste of time or is it everything? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, Mike.
So I'm curious, as somebody I consider a naturally born entrepreneur and somebody who is active on social media, what do you think about building a personal brand? Is it everything or is it a complete waste of time?
I think it's massive and it's the best piece of leverage you could use to make an obscene amount of money if you want to.
So tell me more. Why do you think it's the best leverage?
So think about Warren Buffett. He's a really good content marketer of just like
Okay.
what he talks about, his shareholder letters and everything else. And people come to him bringing him deal flow of
Correct.
companies he's going to buy. So like that furniture store that he bought, the woman approached him and said, "Hey, I think you have a really good company." He
Mm-hmm.
bought a jeweler.
Yep.
They approached him and said, "Hey, I think you'd really like our company. We've been following what you do and how
Yeah.
you operate." And then you look at Alex Hermosi, who's one of my favorite entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Alex, 100%. Here's his deals. He markets on social media. People come to him. He invests in them and he doesn't invest any money. He says, "Give me 20% or I will buy your entire company." Like it's in a span of that, from what I understand. He
Yep.
won't invest any money. And all I'm going to do is show you how to run it better and we'll help you build an executive team. So he gets the best deal flow in the world. It's 100% proprietary. He's in a
Yeah.
different niche to where like he's not competing with any other VCs.
Yeah.
And then he gets cash flow and he's not expelling out any money really besides his management team. But he's not investing big chunks of money in those other teams. And that's all from a
Yeah.
social media reach.
Yeah. I think Alex Hormozy is going to go down as, and his wife Layla. Let's not forget Layla. Um, they're going to go down. If they continue to, and I believe they will for the next decade, they're going to acquisition.com is going to be a multi-billion-dollar
Oh yeah, it's
portfolio.
gonna
That's no question. It's
be
funny.
crazy.
I've actually started to listen to Alex a bunch, and one of the things I did on my run yesterday is I heard him talking about he has a tracking spreadsheet or a graph, I guess, of his personal net worth and Warren Buffett's, which I thought was really cute. He's like it's like Tiger Woods and Jack Nicholson back in the day, right? Who has the most majors? So right now Alex Ramosi is ahead. Age 29 versus 29 or whatever he is. It's
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to watch Alex. I think he
He's
is,
gonna
and
be
again
worth a
he's
lot of money.
and he's I like the way he does it. He's like he is who he is. He has that nose strip that he wears all the time, which I'm sure most of us are like, why the hell is he wearing a nose strip? He doesn't care. He tells it how it is. I thought one of the best videos he did. Apparently, a kid at a grocery store stopped him, asked him for advice. He didn't have time. It ate at him. Then he did a video for the kid.
Yeah.
It was basically like, sacrifice everything, don't eat out, don't buy clothes, get after it. You got stop selling hours, become good at something. I was like, that's absolutely the right thing to say, but that doesn't get the social media clicks. It's not easy. It's not easy button. So I like everything that Alex and Layla are putting out. So good on them.
Yeah. So like Alex and Layla are huge because like they are going to be able to build $1 billion portfolio just with brand.
Yes,
And like they're already on track for multi hundreds of millions. I bet you they have in like equity split right now. But like
probably.
it'll be all off of brand. And then I'll take who else would be another good one? Russell Brunson, not as much now. He has a huge brand, but like let's say Cody Sanchez.
Yes, Cody, I
Cody
like her too. Yeah.
Cody can tweet about something of any type of company and just drive that much traffic to it. So I was listening to My First Million podcast yesterday with Sam Parrs on it, and he was like, "Me and Cody both took equity in this company, and then we tweeted about it, and
Mm-hmm.
we took that company to 7 figures in 60 days."
Damn.
Right. And so, like, if you can do that, and let's say you just face that to raising capital, like Nick Huber. Nick Huber has like $100 million storage portfolio. He raised all of his money through Twitter.
Yeah.
Right. So like,
Yeah.
you have all these different aspects. And like when me and you talked, I was like, Mike, you could be a billionaire if you really It's like sat for a couple of years because you have so much reach. You're like, I don't want to syndicate. But
Yep.
then even having a really big YouTube channel, again, if your let's say audience or demographic is dialed in, you can
Mm-hmm.
do whatever you want. because now you can just eventually pitch them things, or
Sure.
people bring you deal flow, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is. And then as long as you get that figured out, you can do whatever you want as an
Yeah. It's
entrepreneur.
really, you're right so many times in our conversation. So I don't know if you saw it, but I was lucky enough to be interviewed by Ryan Pineda and Sean Cannell.
I didn't see you got interviewed by Sean.
Yeah, I did. I got interviewed. It posted last week, I think, about a week after Ryan's. But anyways, so those interviews, those discussions were awesome. But I was lucky enough to sit with both of them for about a half hour off camera, and basically they both said the same thing. One rental at a time is helping people, you motivated, all that good stuff. Um, so I actually went back and calculated, because it doesn't interest me, but I actually went back and calculated what I've made with one rental at a time since I retired February 2nd of 18. Dude, it's over $1 million. I didn't have,
Right?
I had no idea. I had no idea. It's just wild to think about. And again, I don't really
And you
sell
don't push
anything and
anything.
talk. No, I talk about my course once every 40 videos. I don't even think I mentioned both my books like ever. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more opportunity if I wanted to go that direction, for sure.
Yeah, if you wanted to go that direction. So I think brand, if you're really doing anything, if you want to get out of your 9 to 5, whatever it is, if you're an entrepreneur, it could be a great side hustle. It's not,
Yeah.
if you're trying to like make a little bit of money off of it, you have to be really, really patient, because you're not going to get paid by the services. You got to have something to
I'm so
push.
glad you brought that up, because actually I did a PowerPoint. I hate PowerPoint, but it was the only way to show the data. So I made $1 million with this brand, one rental at a time. But you want to hear so everybody's going to like that, but you want to know the reality of my first year? I did 1,500 videos. I spent time writing and editing a book and made $0 the first year.
Yep.
1,500 videos. I made zero. How many people are willing to do that? And the only reason I did it is because it's not a job to me. This is what I would do anyway.
Yeah.
Right. So again, I think you're absolutely right. If you're a full-time employee, and Ryan and I talked about this for a half hour it's the end of the podcast. If you have a hobby, I don't care if it's, Cabbage Patch Kids, classic cars, Pokemon cards. I mean, whatever your thing is, if it's a hobby like you're really, really passionate about, there is money out there for you. It'll take
100%.
time to build and all of that. But just like my experience, it will blow you away in 5 years. It's going to do nothing the first year, but it'll blow you away in 5 years. It's just wild.
Well, and everybody's looking for their tribe anyways. Like it could be
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch. I know of a guy, he owns the largest quilting company in America.
There you go.
It's a quilting company, right? But like, and he's built an entire like small town around quilting.
Yeah.
And it like has a YouTube channel, Cabbage Patch. I could see Cabbage Patch blowing up, all these different things. And you think like you're the only person.
Dude,
There's
they're out
so
there.
many people who are interested in so many different things.
Yeah. So again, I just love that we're talking about this. So again, these are just facts, right? Made $1 million, documented all the sources year by year. It's all out there. But I did that with roughly averaging 20,000 subscribers. You don't need to be Graham Stephan. You don't need to be Meet Kevin. You have a loyal following of five. Like my daily financial news gets 5,000 views a day.
And that's crazy. I don't think people understand. Like if you have 5,000 people who, no matter what, tune into that, I still think you should do a newsletter.
Yeah, I probably should.
But like with 5,000 people, no matter what they do, they're tuning in to watch you.
Every
The
day.
power of, and you still have your podcast, and nobody really knows about the podcast. The podcast is huge, and you don't even
Dude,
like
it's
put any
10
time into
million.
it.
People don't know. 10 million listens or whatever they call it. Downloads. I don't know what it's called. 10 million. It's wild.
And if the people are going to sit there and listen to you and spend time out of their day
Yeah.
every day, you have a lot of pull on whatever you'd want to push. And I believe after going through some awful affiliates, I think you should just kind of bring it in-house. Have some type of company or take a big equity chunk in another company and then just talk about that one thing and you'll be good to go. And you could do that and just keep making content if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to evaluate those things. Because again, everybody's like Ryan Pineda's interview, people were hitting me up saying, hey, let me help you. Let me help you. Here's the deal. I'm willing to look at those things, but I am not changing for anyone. I'm going to do it my way. I don't have to. I'm lucky to be in that position. I don't have to change. I don't need to bend to the algorithm. You know, the funniest thing that Sean Cannell told me? He goes, if you want to blow up on YouTube, you have to produce less content. And he said, Michael, that's the first time
Yeah.
I've ever said that. The YouTube
Yeah.
algorithm
You need
doesn't
to
know how
create
to
some more
treat me.
scarcity. Yeah.
Yeah, I do 7 videos a day, 7 days a week. The YouTube algorithm throws up on my channel. I don't care. I'm having fun. Yeah, it's
What are you
just
at right
wild.
now? Still in the 40s?
Videos? Yeah, so 48,781 or something. So we're about 1,200 away from 50,000.
And but you got to 30 really fast, or you got to 40 really fast, and it like stalled out, right? One of them.
Yeah. So for a long time I was only adding about 600 subs a month. Because again, the channel, my niche, daily finance, live, no edits, no, fancy this music. It's only for certain people. But the people it connects with, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it's not for it's not going to get the Gen Zs or the, whatever that want all these fancy edits. Sorry, not my channel.
I tell a lot of people when they like ask me like, how do I get started in real estate though? I'm like, how do I, because like they don't know where to go. I'm like, go to Michael's channel. You need to learn how to think is the big thing
Yes.
I say. Right. Because like when you watch that every day, then you can start to understand economics.
Yep.
And the biggest thing why people are so afraid is because they don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly.
Let's get some background knowledge.
Yep.
Of this is the way things are going. Okay, this is what it looks like. Great. Now I at least have some type of knowledge on what's happening, and I'm not going to be afraid to do anything.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing the econ degree taught me was to understand the consumer, understand really when you understand what I'm trying to do on my channel is I'm trying to shine a light on what's around the corner so you can be prepared. Because if you are prepared, it will hurt less, but more importantly, you will take huge advantage of it. If you turn the corner not prepared, it probably runs you over. And that hurts. And then you can't take advantage of it.
And then that's also the big thing because there's not a lot of great opportunities in the world. Warren Buffett keeps billions of dollars of cash on hand for really a 6-month span. And he only wants it for a 6-month span of time. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, okay, I know. And this goes into the one run all the time method. I know what a great deal is.
Exactly. And I
know what it is. And I deploy it. Like, oh, sweet.
And he's consistent.
I'm confident
every day. Consistent. Every day. He's a freaking hammer. Just every day. And he's willing to wait. Right? This is not baseball where you get 3 strikes and you're out. He'll just sit at the plate waiting for his perfect pitch. And then when it comes, he strikes. Everybody can do that if they want.
I think if you're newer, you still need to get into the game, right? But when you start to have any type of like chips on the table and there is a little bit of faltering, man, if you can just be a little bit more patient or be a little bit more like, I'm patient, and then when I'm striking, I am very aggressive. Those exponential returns will outweigh any type of like mediocre deal, right? Totally. It'll add significantly more to your net worth. It'll add significantly more to your cash flow because you can go in there and actually essentially just throw your dick out like, bam, I'm here. This is what we're doing.
Let's go.
Better deal.
Better deal. That's awesome.
But I think everybody should really focus on their brand.
I agree.
There's so many different reasons.
Especially as we go forward, the personal brand is going to mean something to everyone. And if you could take your personal brand tied to what your hobby, that's the magic I tried to communicate on Ryan's show is you already have a hobby. Most people do that you've probably had for a decade. What if you created a business around that? And that really does 2 things for you. Not only are you now monetizing your hobby, but you get to write off some tax stuff. Again, work with your CPA.
Yeah, that's true.
Like let's just say you like Legos and Legos are expensive. What if you built a channel around building Legos? Now, buying Legos is a tax write-off.
Yep.
Right? Because it's part of your business and you're building content and showing a slow motion or whatever you're doing. I have no idea. But that's a way how you could take your hobby, which used to be below the line, and take it above the line. Go ahead and talk to your CPA. But there's just there's just that symbiotic relationship of taking hobby, personal brand together. I do think is everything. I think more people should think about it. Stratton, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram at StratDaddy, on YouTube at StratDaddy. My podcast is the Winning Move Podcast.
Oh, I love that Winning Move Podcast. You, Jason, and Dean. That's pretty awesome.
No. Then our other podcast is Deal Champs.
Deal Champs. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then our other podcast is Deal powerful. Champs. Yeah. Go check us out on Spotify, and go give us a follow on YouTube. I should have done that on all 3 of them. Go give us a follow on YouTube. At I think it's just Deal Champs on YouTube.
There you go. Thank you, buddy.